last week before last, it was 40 years since Sid died, which 40 years is a long time. So I wrote some stuff about Sid. What I remember about that day, and it's very little, is that my mate Dave punched my mate Mark on the nose. And my mate Mark said, "What did you do that for?" And my mate Dave said, "'Cause Sid died." That's what it was like. This is Sid. This is in two voices. Sid and Nancy. This is in two voices. The first voice is Nancy's. Imagine them holed up in the Chelsea Hotel. Love is much more than love, Sid. Oh, my brother, my poor, dear, sweet, innocent little brother, what has become of you? Where have they taken to you? Sid, dear Sid. The young brat's been in a little fight to his crib, you see? He knows me. Good to go. Tactile offences of speech. What did you say? The anarchists say that we are anarchists? A police officer walked across and this is a question. Pushed him over. This is a question. Put down the light. It hurts my eyes. As long as he needs me. Oh yes, he does need me. In spite of what you see, I'm sure that he needs me. Can you believe it? This is a question. Isn't that nice? There's good reason for it too. And I think we're doing pretty well on healthcare. We'll see. It's not basically to reassess anarchist influence. God forgive me, I never thought of this. It's this damp, dirty room, I think. Now, Sid dear, are you ready? That's right, yes, here he is, like a lamb. Coming in as he did, and so it's something I very much appreciate, and we'll see what happens. We're going to know in about 2 hours. So many conversations, a lot. He doesn't say the things he should. He acts the way he thinks he should. But all the same, I'll play this game his way. Last night I actually went from Wheelhouse, Virginia. They were from other planets. There were 2 people playing saxophones on top of a bus shelter, and a photographer was taking pictures. But you know, it was like the mean street scene, so they came all over. But right? It seems the police have received reports that petrol bombs were being carried in and out of the squat. You'll prevent me ever telling tales afterwards by shooting me through the head, and will take your chance of swinging for it, as you do for a great many other things in the way of business every month of your life. You know, Joe Strummer sang about far, and you know, you can't sell it, you can't call it in, it's very unfair, it's so spat. The laudanum has taken effect at last, some comfort in that too. For how many thousands and hundreds of thousands of pounds would you not give if you had them to know who your 2-legged spaniel was? I saw his 4 for a fight at Homesteads, and I said, man, that's the Englishman, because you know, so we called out for a Hudgy to go, you know, that's almost worse than like a troop bombing, because the general drove up, never seen, I mean, his minimals, rolled out, right? I don't know what that means. Nothing could save him. I don't know what it is. I only know that it is so. I must go back. Whether it was God's wrath for the wrong I have done, I do not know, but I am drawn back to him through every suffering and ill usage, and I should be, I believe, if I knew that I was to die by his hand at least. Every Sunday night, from 11 until the clock strikes 12, I will walk on the Brooklyn Bridge, if I am alive. It's up to you, hugging me and kissing because of the torture subcommittee. Well, you know, you could say that's a friendly act or an unfriendly act. It would be something not to die in the hell in which I have lived. Horrible thoughts of death and shrouds with blood upon them, and a fear that has made me burn as if I was on fire have been upon me all day and in the streets tonight. I won't betray his trust, though people say I must. I've got to stay true just as long as he needs me. It's not very easy for me to leave him unless he knows why. I couldn't give him a drink of laudanum before I came away. I have been a liar, and among liars from a little child. He has a lurking walk, And as he walks, constantly looks over his shoulder, first on one side and then on the other. His eyes are sunk in his head so much deeper than any other man's. His face is dark, like his hair and eyes, and although he can't be more than 1 or 2 and 20, withered and haggard, his lips are often discoloured and disfigured with the marks of teeth, for he has desperate fits, and sometimes even bites his hands and covers them with wounds. Part 2, Sid. That man back there in the past is me. It's not someone else. After all, I recognise myself in that past man. And yet in the sense that matters right now, that man is not me. That man has good resolutions that speak to him and are persuasive. But those resolutions do not affect me one bit unless I make those revelations anew. Now, I do not find his resolutions affecting me. When John walks into the room, I feel a profound convulsion of repugnance and anger at the sight of him, but I no longer hate him. Seeing John in need produces in me a feeling of distress and anxiety, and that's of course unpleasant. If I go to John's aid, however, this will reduce my feeling of distress, and may even produce in me a certain sense of self-satisfaction for being so helpful, and that would be pleasant. And I anticipate these things before I go to John's aid. Nothing does nothing. Nothing noths. The being by which nothingness comes to the world must be its own nothingness. Consciousness is not what it is, and is what it is not. The crescent moon is the existing. What it is lacking is the rest of the moon. The results of adding the crescent moon to the rest of the moon, adding the existing to the lacking, is the lacked, that is, the full moon. I go to the cafe to meet John and look around, but cannot see him, so I conclude that he is not there. The cafe is the backdrop for John's absence. John's absence emerges from the backdrop of the cafe. The essence of the lie implies in fact that the liar actually is in complete possession of the truth which he is hiding. Love is much more than love. I am too great for myself. I have become what I was. Eternity changes each man into himself. All this is bad faith. I am not Sid. I am un-Sid, in-Sid, a-Sid, non-Sid. I am John. I am not John. John is here. John is not here. By being unrestricted and ignorant of prohibitions, I am restrictions and prohibitions. I am a not and I do not. I nothing. I am a perpetual negation, annihilating man. The closer I get to the edge of the cliff, the more obvious it is that nothing prevents me from actually jumping. The literal distance between me and the edge is a symbol of my own freedom. And that is what's so scary. What produces the dizziness, the vertigo, this fear of my own freedom. I have become a character. I have developed inertia. I behave in certain unintended ways. I resist interpretation. The bass. The sound value of the first note collapses into the point value of the gap existing between the first and second notes. Within the gap, the silent point of all possibilities, the structural dynamics of what happens within the silent gap, and the mechanics by which the sound emerges from the point value of the gap. That is, the emergence of the sound value of the second note. This is the bass.